growing up, I was a real family-oriented person. I was really involved in sports. And so when I was about 12 years old, I was going through a period of my life where I wasn't growing as fast as the other guys. And competing in sports as much as I was, it really affected me. And around that time is when I became really angry with God, and I started blaming God for everything. And I remember seeing those Jesus Save Me bumper stickers, and I would get so angry inside and just like kind of think, what a joke. And by the age of 13 is when I really started acting out. That's when I got drunk for my first time. And the first time I drank, I remember that was like I found the solution to all of my problems. And by the age of 15, I got sent to my first rehab program in Utah for drugs and alcohol. And when I came back, my identity had completely changed from this good student athlete to this troubled party kid. And the thing was that I liked that new identity. I just didn't know the path it was going to lead me on. By the time I was 18, I had been kicked out of Clovis West, Fresno Christian. I totaled some of my parents' cars. I got my first DUI, and that's when I got arrested for selling ecstasy. I had a 5-year prison sentence over my head. And the thing with my addiction is that the consequences, they didn't really matter. And I just had no fears back then. And that's around the time when I first tried Oxycontin for the first time. When I first did Oxycontin, it was the first drug that had ever made me completely numb. And I fell in love with that feeling. I just didn't know I was falling in love with the devil. And shortly after that, my doctor prescribed me Oxycontin for a good 5 years. And he's now doing, I think, 10 years in prison. I started off snorting the Oxycontin, then I started smoking it, and then that opiate addiction progressed to smoking heroin, and then eventually being an IV heroin user. And that lifestyle led me to Fresno County Jail many times, went to Laguna Beach Jail, Huntington Beach Jail. I even went to jail in Mexico. I had been to now 12 drug treatment centers, detoxes. I had multiple DUIs, all by the age of 26. My biggest fear was always being sober. I felt like I couldn't breathe without drugs and alcohol. I came to a point where I had lost my morals. I had hurt my family so bad. I had hurt so many people from all the drugs I had sold. One thing that always sticks out is I remember that my mom told me that her and my dad had already started grieving the loss of their son. And I remember being at a point towards the end where I knew that I had a good chance of overdosing, but I couldn't stop. 2.5 years ago, I was taking 5 Xanax a day. I was injecting meth and heroin multiple times a day. And I was at the end of a big drug bender, and I was just coming to a point where I was just getting sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was spiritually, mentally, and physically bankrupt. And I was just emotionally drained and tired, and that's when I made the decision for the first time to go into a program, a rehab program on my own. And because of the amounts of drugs and alcohol I was on, I had to go into a detox for 5 weeks. When I was in that detox, I hadn't slept, I was coming down and I couldn't sleep. And on the 3rd day, I opened up my bag and my mom had put a Bible and a Celebrate Recovery book in there. And for some reason, I opened up that Bible because I couldn't sleep, and I started reading it. I had no idea what I was reading, but I was reading and I was seeking something. And about the 4th or 5th night, I still hadn't slept. I was reading the Celebrate Recovery book, and I had tears running down my face. I was shaking because of the withdrawals. and there's a prayer in there that asked me to ask Jesus to forgive me for my sins and to cleanse my soul. And I said that prayer with the bottom of my heart, and I meant it so much. And I felt the Holy Spirit come inside me. It felt like 1,000 pounds was lifted off of my chest of fear, 1,000 pounds of fear, and I just kind of felt free. And it took a lot of hard work in that program, but I had a lot of faith. And after I made it through this 6-month program, my first week out, I started going to Via Church, and my life has completely changed. It hasn't been the easiest at times, but I've had a lot of faith, and today I'm a full-time employee. I'm a trusted employee. My relationships with my family have all been restored. There are times that I feel like I don't deserve to be alive, but I am alive because of God's grace and because Jesus saved me. So now when I see those bumper stickers that say Jesus saved me, I believe them, because my sobriety date's August 12, 2014, and Jesus saved me too.